So hello and welcome to the Donny Chaingnag with me, Matt Payne. We're live here, subterranean down underground in the Full Speed Event Studios. It's kind of bright in here today, which is probably a good thing. Keep me up and buzzing, ready for the Chaingnag. We are up and ready to go. My name's Matt Payne, full of coffee, fueled up, ready to roll. Please do give us a follow. It's at Matt Fix Paint. You can see it down there. I got to say a massive thank you to the team at Zwift, because they keep the show on the road on the Donny Chaingnag. And of course it is going to be an entertaining ride tonight, because we are into March into our last 4 Chaingnags, and this is the anti-penultimate one. I'm sure this is probably a very posh way of saying it in Latin. I don't know it. Maybe I'll look it up for next show, but that will be the anti-penultimate one with 3 to go. So, time ticking down on our riders. Let's take a look at where we're heading tonight. We're going into Watopia. You can just see just over there the map, courtesy of Zwift Hacks. Got to say a big thank you to the team at Zwift Hacks. It's a really simple route tonight, Tempest Future. We come out from the Pens, we head through the Rock Arch, we go down, we go south, go round the loop at the bottom, we come back up again, go back through the Oasis. You see that little blue dot moving. They go underneath the arch, and then we go round the loop at the far end to finish at the Rock Arch, coming back the way we came into it in the first place. Always some people get it the wrong way round. It's 3 full laps on top of the start loop, which means that we are going to be covering a total of 54.3k as part of the route. We'll finish at that Rock Arch and it'll give about 700 metres or so for the warm down over the finish line. Now let's look at the route in a little bit more detail, courtesy of the amazing team at Fellow Viewer. Big thank you to Ben Lowe, to John Wildhanner and all the team there. It is really not a lot to look at, I have to be honest. It's flat and more flat. So today's all about staying in the draft. It's all about holding the wheels. Don't let those gaps go with the current dynamics on Zwift. Really tricky to get back into a group, don't I know it, if you get dropped from that group. So it's really key. Make sure you stay in that group no matter what. So let's take it on to the man who is in charge tonight. It is the one and only Russ Downing. Russ seen here with Brother Dean of Downing Cycling, the coaching team that look after so many top riders. They're going to be bringing all of the action, and Russ going to be taking the riders out and around, just taking a bit of a look at the screens at the moment, and just to see Russ down on that start line, and struggling to see the beacon at the moment, which is quite unusual. Not had word from Russ that there is an issue. So I suspect, if we've got no Russ, that Mr. Mason has already volunteered for now. So G is the man. When it comes to the fact, Russ is typing, so that we have got Russ somewhere. The yellow beacon is with us. He is in the distance. He's making his way from the back. That is what you call fine timing. So, Russ is with us. He has jumped out of the pain cave. The man, the former national champion, is on his way in towards the group at warp speed. And what better time to join Russ from Downing Cycling, from Fuel Your Ride. He's on his way in to the ride. He's on his way to the leaders, and he is making his way down and in at the moment. We're going to try and jump in with him and see his approach, which is currently pretty much, I suspect, at warp speed to the group at the moment. So Russ just making his way in. In fact, we can jump in and join him now live on a Downing Cycling YouTube channel for the Donny Chaingnag, lastlegs.com, lastminutetiming.com. Here he comes, the gang, very aware that Russ is in with them. He's made his way onto the back of the group. So the Chaingnag controlled by Russ. Rules are really simple. Basically, you stay with the yellow beacon. The yellow beacon controls the pace until we get the 3 Gs, 3 O's. Basically, go, go, go will be the words from Russ on the screen. And that means that is when the ride is up and running and the limiter is off. Now, looks like we've got Mr. Campbell on board from the RAF Cycling Association. We've got John Garford from the Royal Navy Cycling here as well. We've got two of the forces represented on board. We've got Mick Hawkins here from Bolsover District tucked in as well. There's some interesting kit flying around in the group today. Just dealing with a return of Kai Hurst, a man whose ears must have been burning a little bit early. Let's see if he stays in. We've got Dale Williams in here. Dale has gone for some very interesting kit tonight. I'm going to try and get a view in at some very interesting jersey, to put it mildly. I'm just going to try and get a view that's there. You can just see it's highlighted with a yellow line around him. It's definitely a look. It's a strong look from Dale Williams tonight, it can be said. Now, one rider who's riding strongly in both on Tuesday and on Wednesday is the one and only Alice Fonseca. So Alice in with the group here in the Chaingnag. Now, Alice Fonseca has been riding in the Wow Chaingnag on Wednesday. Was riding, in fact, racing in the Iceni Race Series on Zwift as well. So we've got a number of our riders doing multiple days on the Chaingnag here, which is always good to see. The group at the moment just making its way in towards the straight. Mr. Mason, very glad that he didn't have to keep hold and control for everybody. So we'll soon see if Gareth's feeling back on form. Good to see we've got Liam Mazzoni in here as well, the man from the Isle of Man. Tucked in with the group. He's quite vocal actually in the couple of weeks. Got apologies for not having a broadcast last week. We did have a little bit of a family emergency, which meant that no broadcast last week, but we're back and we should be here, fingers crossed, until the end of the Chaingnag, which is at the end of March. But don't forget, if you're a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingnag Supporters Club, then of course we do have lots of action going on. To be a fair few riders, I suspect, with the team from the behind the scenes, Tracy Seeley, along with Vin Donahoe and Keith Richardson and Andrew Edwards, looking after Tuesdays and looking after the rides in the outdoors. But it's a big but. It's open to people who are members of the DCG gang sometime over the winter. So what's been said is we're going to open it to anybody who has been a member over the course of the winter. So that will happen at the end of March. When we go into April, the Zwift Club will open up to anybody who's been a member over the course of the winter season. Now, by now, that's 47 people in the DCG gang, in the Donny Chaingnag Supporters Club, who have basically made the event happen for everybody else. So, if you're a member of the DCG gang over the course of the winter this winter, at any point, and that includes March, and you can still sign up for March, then you'll be able to be in the Zwift Club over the summer and get out and ride with the DCG gang over the course of the summer. That is the plan. So that is where we are at now. The riders at the moment making their way out on to the course proper, heading down. Remember, they're going to be heading in towards the Oasis. 3 times heading south, 3 times heading north. So we see, I think, a few people feeling the pace. The key here is not to ride at the back of the group. The key here is to ride right around our yellow beacon, which get dropped at the moment with the current drafting. Very, very difficult to get back in with the group at the moment, holding the rearward station. There's going to be Phil Oliver just sitting in the heels of Muncaster at the moment. I think we're going to see Henderson coming into Johnny. But this is on the way through, heading south. The pack moving nice and fast, 35 kilometres an hour at the moment here on the Chaingnag. Now, a quick reminder for those of you who maybe have only just joined us, of those ride distances, top right hand side of the screen, as you can see, we're in Watopia. We are on Douglas Fuji. We have 3 full laps of 17.3k that will finish us off at the Fuego Flats Arch, heading back south again at 54.3k. 54.3k is the number you need to remember. A quick reminder, as if you really needed it, about how flat the course is. Yeah, pancake, there we go. Jumped on with that one because it is absolutely flat as 8 pancakes here today. So not going to be any real need, I think, for anybody to have to worry about putting a feather in. In fact, it's probably one of the most useless power-ups that you're going to get on the way through. Good to have Sonia Inslee on board. Sonia is one of our regular riders joining the DCG gang again. And Sonia back on the bike there, on the S-Works, so got the deep rims on there. Don't forget, of course, that the Chaingnag made possible because of the support of some amazing people. Now, we'll be bringing you the bar back across. That'll do a bit of a reboot on the computer, so you'll notice at the moment we don't have our sponsors across the base of the screens. Doesn't mean they're not here, just means I'm able to bring them to you, and that is due to a technical issue. But it means you get to listen to me and tell you all about the teams, the people who have made this happen. So that is Gritty. Gritty, one of the key supporters of the Chaingnag since its inception. Neil and Caroline Mansfield, some really nice designs out, some great stuff. Got to say, if you want to minimise your impact of what you're wearing, then make sure you jump on with the kit from Gritty. Lots of sustainable kit on there. And if you remember DCG gang, Donny get 20% off. A big thank you, of course, to Goodyear Tyres, courtesy of Cambrian Tyres across in Wales. The team there, well, Shelley Childs and co, looking after our riders. A massive 30% discount for members of the DCG gang on Goodyear Tyres and on Continental Tyres. You need the discount code for the members, and that's 30% off. So you've got some nice rubber for the summer to keep you rolling super fast. Then if you're a member of the gang, that is 30%. So one pair of tyres, you've got your membership money back already. Now, if you move across to our next of our key sponsors, you need some wheels to put those tyres on and look good in that good kit. Well, remember, don't forget, then if in doubt, jump on board with the team from Halo with 10% discount on riders' wheels for the members of the DCG gang. Here we go, the code is in the members' email. A big thank you to the team from OTE. OTE looking after our riders with a 20% discount across all of the range. My apologies, just getting a minor distraction flying in on the message boards. So, got to say a big thank you to OTE, so whether that's hydro tabs, whether that is your gel, whether it's your recovery, make sure you jump on board, grab hold of that discount. It is 20% off OTE. Remember, this is the final month you can stock up for the summer if you're a member of the DCG gang. Got to say a massive thank you as well to the team at Nonna's. Nonna's looking after our riders on the way through. A great time had by all there, and it was really good to be with the team at Nonna's, Stefano and all the gang ratio, looking after the keen and committed who are down at Nonna's for the meal. And it was great to catch up with some of the real key core people who make the gang happen. Got to say a massive thank you to everybody who came down and joined us there. And don't forget how our riders get on board. Well, it's very simple. You can see it just ticking across the left-hand side of the base of the screen. Join the ride free, or you can donate to join the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingnag Supporters Club. It's the same place. It's www.buytickets.at/fullspeedevents. So www.buytickets.at/fullspeedevents. It's free to ride on a Thursday. If you want to ride on a Tuesday's ride, if you want the discount codes, If you want to be in for the summer, you do need to be a member during the course of the winter. So please do think about donating. We have costs all the way through the summer. We have costs I think we're incurring no matter what we do next season, right the way into October. Now, Mr. Mason, he said he's only got me in one ear. That is very interesting, which means we may have to be a little bit brutal with one of our fantastic settings on the software, which means we can force it all into one. Hopefully, you're now getting me in both ears. We will see, because it's going to light up the message boards. So hopefully, in both ears, rather than just one, coming out in mono, rather than in a left-hand stereo feed. It is in part due to some of the updates that have just come in and through on the software. Defo louder. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Maybe that's just because I am going into both ears. Am I in one ear? Am I in both? I've only got one speaker, so we can't tell. Stereo now, says Alice for a second. Very good. Feels less like I'm whispering to you guys. Gareth, ride smooth. Gareth, ride really smooth. Harness the inner power. There we go. That's as good as it gets. I can't really do a whisper when you're on the mic here as we make our way in and through. Now the riders just making the way in around the twists and turns, coming out the other side. You can just see the flowers starting to come out. The seasons do change on Zwift, depending on whereabouts you are in the gang. So the atmosphere now is moving about. Definitely going to be changing in terms of volume because of the changes. It's all about how the setup bounces around. We change one setting, it alters lots of different ones. It's always a bit of juggling here on the Chaingnag. Anybody who thinks we have a massive set on there, Gareth, can I just message that to you, please, Matt? I could voice message you that, Gareth, but you'd have to pay for that. That's the service we offer. Personalised motivational whispering in your ear, Gareth. Anytime, buddy. You can get a free bonus one, bud. For having to step in every now and then as a beacon. So yes, it isn't a huge production studio behind us. There is not thousands of minions working behind the scenes. This is a one-man band show at the moment on the Donny Chaingnag because we have commitments elsewhere. So it means I am doing the knobs and faders. That is quite literally rather than metaphorically. As well as changing all the settings, doing the camera angles, adjusting the sound, making sure we keep track of everything, making sure that we give our sponsors and supporters the due recognition they deserve, as well as focusing on our riders like Dave Fulton, who's on his way through. Just seeing Tracy in the gang here. And just drop a ride on Tracy in that almost refresher's like kit. Yes, with the big stripes across. Just riding along, so I think that's going to be Sam Emsley. So the gang making its way down past the neon sections. We're going to be heading in towards the down section. So a quick reminder to everyone, don't forget of course that all of the donations that you donate to the DCG gang go, half goes to Russ, half goes to me, and my half, well, I'll tell you where I spend my half. It's all spent on new software, hardware and computer kit, and also paying all the umpteen subscriptions that get you the Chaingnag. And I can't remember how many reels of paper, setting everything out. It helps cover off the costs for things like our subscriptions to stream, our subscriptions for the software to stream. We don't actually use it on pretty much 99% of anything else at all, if not 100% of anything else. It is there basically for the Chaingnag. We also go through rather a lot of keyboards. I have an en masse subscription to keyboardsaros.com most of the time. And that is only because we have to change them frequently. So for the damages that we do on those, it helps cover the cost of those. So a massive thank you. We've got we have extra processing power that just deals with the Chaingnag. In fact, we have two we have to have an extra gaming laptop just for the Donny Chaingang that actually can power the Chaingang and do some of the supply as well as the streaming. So all of that has been sorted out by the guys on the DCG gang. So thank you very much if you have donated. It's really, really appreciated. School keyboards probably last less than mine. Yeah, that's what I don't know. This is the third one. We actually use two different types in the studio. We have a nice silent one, which is for posh recordings and for professional recordings. And we actually have a nice clicky one. And when I say it is clicky, it is proper clicky. I'm going to try and click on it without destroying anything here. So we're going to change the camera angles. Probably can't hear that, but it's a nice tactile, proper keyboard. It has mechanical switches in it, and it's the only one that lasts, but they're not cheap, and we still do rate them. Changing camera angles for our riders. Now, the riders going in to the loop, they're going into that turn. You can see that at the moment as they come around the section here. Then they're going to head back out into the desert once again. So we're halfway on the first lap as we come out of this turn pretty much and start heading away from the loop back in again. We've got to make our way a little bit further down the course. Here on the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne, live on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel. Now, for those of you who have maybe been watching some of the action, we've had quite a lot of action going on. A lot of the riders that we get to know across the various esports that we cover been racing in the Zwift. Again, massive congratulations to Michael Kaminski and Catherine Furr, who both took away golden Tron bikes. No, both very well, regularly get to chat with both of them, and they are the recipients of those golden Zwift Tron bikes. Going to be really interesting to see them out. Not managed to catch up with them out on a ride yet, but that is due to come. Really looking forward to that. Got to say a massive congratulations to the people who were riding in the racing on the Iceni Tour. So the Iceni races are brought to you by the Warrior Games in conjunction with the Aeonian race team. The commentary come in and race sponsorship from Full Speed Events. So we're supporting women's esports on the Iceni Games. It is Women's History Month, International Women's History Month all month. And we've also got, of course, a great partnership with Damon at ZMS Studios. Really looking forward to seeing the coverage. I got to watch it on Tuesday, and I have to say it was a great show. Some of the highlights are out once. We're taking the Chaingang philosophy of covering all categories and all the riders, if we can, from the Chaingang into the Iceni. So you'll see highlights coming out and all of the race finishes across A, B, C, and D categories. And the aim of that is to try and get as many people out there. Right. Ride's looking good at the moment. The group, as our helicopter comes zooming in, just the camera's cutting through the heat haze here, just about. Let's get down alongside the riders. Let's get our drone in towards them. The riders looking pretty smooth at the moment and looking good as they make their way down here. A gang just a little stretch on the front, a little stretch on the back, but nothing too drastic. Still rolling along three Gs and 3 Os at the moment. Just see the twister in the distance, the heat haze just making those mountains shimmer as we go in and across the desert here. But the gang are looking good as they make their way around this long sweeping right-hand turn. You can see the riders just over the top of the fields at the moment, just coming into bloom. Great time of year to be out and about. Don't forget, of course, we're going to be bringing a lot more events out as part of Full Speed Events. We have the WOW, the Women's Only Wednesday, the Women's Only Week in France. That's going to be happening in May. We've also got the Charité, the Saint-Gosson weekend of riding in France, and that is a 250k hard sportive on the Saturday, along with 3 distances of a gravel ride, which you can do on a gravel bike. You could also be able to do those on a cyclocross bike with the right tyres on as well. We could get away with a road bike with seriously wide tyres on there. We then also have the Sunday, which is the standard sportives, including the trips to one of my favourite feed stations. It's a chateau of all things, so well worth jumping on board, because the feed station is in a chateau. Yes, it is. You need, again, go on to my social media feed for that. It's going to be a fantastic weekend of riding. Where else are you going to get handmade food for all the riders? Quiches, as well as some of the best French cuisine and cheeses, as well as wine at a feed station. Ride responsibly when you're having the wine. Lots of it made locally as well. It's from people's own personal stocks within the village that we're in. Now, we're not running those in isolation. They are part of the Charentes weekend. We're going to be bringing those rides out. We're going to be doing some wrap-round rides as well. That is going to be happening on the Thursday, Friday, the Monday, Tuesday after as well. So a whole week there as well. So please do come and join us for that at Full Speed Events. We're going to be looking forward to seeing our riders there as well. I know a number of people are going to be making their way out into the sunshine. It's looking good, certainly for me. It's about 24 degrees at the moment. We'll see how the riders get on in those temperatures. Quite pleasant, and it won't be up to the 40 degrees. It will be over the 40 plus in the middle of the summer. That's not necessarily a bad thing, although the best place to be when it's that warm, it's out on your bike for sure. Now, our riders back in to the tunnels that will bring them in towards the Oasis. Interesting to see the chat regarding the Tuesdays, the Tuesday Chaingangs. 4 members, absolutely cracking. Really good to see how successful they are. There's some great routes actually for the month in March. Don't forget to jump on board. You just need to donate to the Chaingang. Really great to see the riders in action on there. And I know a lot of people have been asking what's going to happen next year on the Chaingang. The answer is we don't know. So we will let you know when we do. Russ and myself will be having a conversation, I'm sure, once we get out the other side of this season's Chaingang, about how much time we're going to have, how much commitment, and so on, and what format we're going to make it work in. But really good to see Tuesdays have worked really, really well. So our riders on the way round, just making the way back in through the Oasis here on the Donny Chaingang. It's looking pretty smooth at the moment out there. The riders just ticking along pretty much sub 3 watts per kilo at the moment. It's super flat, super fast, super quick. Does give us a chance to jump across our riders at the moment. So really going to be interesting to see how there is going to with Ewan Campbell, Claire Jessup in here, Jamie Forbes is on board as well. So Mr. Tom Lindley been doing plenty of chatting at the moment. Russ is here from fuelmachine.co.uk. Make sure you jump on there if you're in the market for a new coffee machine. Then don't forget you can get them on subscription. If you like to spend your time weighing out your coffee grinds, weighing out the amount of water put in your coffee, if you're a true aficionado of the art of the bean, then do make sure you get in touch with Russ. Russ looking after the members of the DCG gang as well, the members of the gang with extra discounts. Don't forget, of course, that we also have Russ involved with Bikeflex. That's bikeflex.co.uk. And, of course, Downing Cycling that we saw at the start of the show. And if you do need to get in touch with Russ, get hold of him at Russ Downing on social media across Instagram, Facebook, etc. Really, really important. What is really important is if you give Russ a follow, if you give myself at Matt Fix the Pain or at Biking Emma a follow, every follow is really, really valuable. It's much more valuable than a like. So if in doubt, give us a follow, get your friends to give us a follow. They are really, really important. We don't have any fake followers. We don't buy them. We don't use a machine to generate them. We do have genuine followers, but we'd love more, and it does help us when it comes to getting support for the Chain Gang. More support we can get for the Chain Gang, the more likely we are to be able to put it on over the next winter and into the future. So please, please, please do jump on board, get those social media done. It's a great way of supporting the gang, supporting Russ and myself and all for the speed at full speed events at Downey Cycling. The more followers you can put in there for us, the better. So if you can get your friends, family to give us a follow, and you never know, you might be on the show. Do give the YouTube a follow, the Full Speed Events YouTube for Wednesdays, and of course we have Downey Cycling, the YouTube channel for Downey Cycling, where I'm sure you are watching this right now. So at the moment, Russ's heart rate just ticking along, 83 beats per minute, spinning away at 100 revs per minute, near enough. Watt's heart rate and revs all sitting in a similar kind of area. Because we've got Vin Donahoe on the gang as well, tucked in nicely in here. He'll be trying to hold that go when it happens. It's not happened yet though. Chris Ball in here. Looks like we've got Matty Taylor tucked in with the group. Looks like Claire Richardson in the Chain Gang as well. Claire riding on the Chain Gang last night. Now Claire Richardson was involved in the race with Izzy Torrey and with Tracy Seeley in the WOW Chain Gang that happened last night. Now, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but if I said those three riders were absolutely critical to the race action, it would be very true. What I'd suggest you do is watch from about 2/3 of the show distance, because it's an absolute cracker. Really intriguing watching what happened when the riders realised that their ride was on, then they worked out who was going well and who wasn't, and how that then played out in the run into the finish. Do watch it. It's on Full Speed Events YouTube channel. Claire Richardson, Tracy Seeley and Izzy Torrey absolutely on form. Full of lots of great rides as well. Great to see the return of Huan Gilbert, who's in there as well. Good to see we've got Claire Jessup on the ride here today. Claire on the orange Tron bike, and another of our regular riders on the WOW, looking very, very super smooth. So the gang moving quickly through, the pace holding nicely. Now, a quick reminder to people, the direction we are going in is not the direction of the race finish. If you see the arch with the tower in the background and it drops from right to left, we're not going the right way for the finish. This is not the finish line. Not in this direction. Not this time and not in this direction. When we come back the other way, that white line on the floor is the lap line. And at the end of 3 laps, it is the finish line. I like Craig Forrester's quote there, if you missed it on the screens. After the Visma lease bike helmet reveal, has anybody heard from Simon Warren? He's worried about him. I totally understand your thoughts there. Simon, of course, is a rim brake and aesthetic aficionado par excellence. I'm with him 100% on that. Rim brakes for the win. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't conform to general what would be consumerist and manufacturers selling you something because they need you to keep buying new kit rather than it actually being any better. Now, riders on to the turn at the moment. If we zoom our map out into the far view, you can see that we're on our loop here, going round in a counterclockwise direction at the moment. So going round, turning right, no, in clockwise, right. You can tell I've been on digital for a long time now. Even my Garmin watch is digital. Got to say one of the best things we've ever got. just heading into our right-hand turn, long sweeping right turn here. Yeah, brings us back round and we head back in towards the finish line to complete lap number 1 here on the Donny Chaingnag. Aaron Cooley, have you lost Matt? I hope you haven't. It's showing that we are coming out to you live on the show, so I'm hoping that you're there. I think, Mr. Cooley, that is you. Rather than the team here. Gareth, I'm still whispering in Gareth's ear. Hi, Gareth. How are you? And Tom Lindley as well. Tom, I'm not whispering you're far too young. So the riders make their way through. You may not be the young Tom Lindley, but you're definitely still too young for that. Gareth, however, is all grown up and let's face it, he played rugby for years, so he'll have heard far worse. So let's take a look. We still whispering. Oh, yes. I can still do the whispering one way or another. Still got the voice of the commentary gods. I wish. It is actually a thing in commentary. It's the voice of God. VOD, voice of God. It is a thing. So, if you go to a live event, you will find people are split into 2 camps generally. If you are a live announcer, you may be the VOD announcer. This isn't some strange take on something you picked up in a very bad place. It is the voice of God, which means that you are a VOG announcer, which means that you go, welcome to, and there you go. So, over the line we go. It is across the line for the first lap. That is 1 lap done, 2 laps left to go. No Matt none on lap scoring today. Who's going to take it on? Has anybody said? We have 2 laps to go. That was the finish line. Did I miss it? Oh, Mr. Mason, I did miss it. My apologies. Finished this way through on the arch. 2 laps. Very good. Excellent, sir. Mr. Mason, you're very good at that. Okay, now you get a steamroller. What use is a steamroller? It's about as much use as a feather and an anvil on this course. All you want is draft and aero power-ups. I bet Tracy Seeley just got an anvil and she's going, oh, maybe we can get anvils after all. Now, Tracy, of course, famous for her anvil envy. So Mr. Parsons said he's only, which is a.k.a. Mr. Ridley, oh, you're going to be doing 15 minutes. Don't wait for this old lad. Don't worry, Alan, at the moment there's no waiting for you. You're absolutely flying along. Meanwhile, behind, Aaron Cooley just getting the lift back in with the gang. So Cooley, who had lost a connection, making his way back in towards the group's got a bit of work to do. He's got straight through the gang, gone flying straight back out of the front after working on the gang to get back in again. Going faster than our camera can catch up. So, Aaron, do you know the answer? Do not put anything on Wi-Fi you don't need to. Do as much as possible on ANT rather than Bluetooth, and hardwire everything as far as you can, as much as you can. Ooh, wait till Steve Wilson drops the coffee break. I know he's notorious for dropping the coffee break at the wrong moment or the right moment. We will see. Okay. So, yes, Aaron, it's real simple. Make sure, hardwire everything. ANT connection as much as possible if you have to go wirelessly. Don't use Bluetooth for as little as possible unless you absolutely have to. Bluetooth is far more flaky. It really is. It's like chocolate teapot at times. Aaron Cooley can't hear me. It sounds like I'm swimming. It sounds like you've got a bad connection on the way through. Okay. The gang are making its way back in towards. It's not going to be long till we're into the Oasis very soon. So indeed, it was the Ribble Collective. Basically, if you don't call your team a team, and you don't register it with British Cycling, then basically what happens is you don't have to pay sponsorship fees to BC for the license. Now, Ribble Collective were multidisciplinary, doing gravel races, blah, blah, blah. basically, as far as I understand it, pretty much everybody's gone from that team and moved on to pastures new. Gotta say congratulations to one of them, and that is to certain Ben Chilton. Ben Chilton, who took the win. You may remember him taking the win, soloing off the front in Guildford Crit. Ben Chilton was on Ribble Collective. He was riding basically solo. It was Ben versus all the rest of the riders in the Crit season. He's actually gone out to the Charente, where we are, and joined our local race team out there, which is the Apogee Charente Maritime team. Give them a follow as well. And first race for them, guess what? He took the win both in the sprints and in the mountains competition. 6'2", Big Ben Chilton. You may remember him also being a regular on the cyclocross scene as well. Looking forward to seeing what Ben does. At the moment, there are more British pros racing abroad than there have ever been in the history of British cycling. That's little B and little C, not the big ones. So it's good to see DCG Live, Jim Brown get a ride as well, definitely. There's been a lot of great performances. Matty Brennan, absolutely fine. Another of our regulars, one of those people who may have to wear one of the really crazy helmets on there. Going to be interesting to see how Matty gets on with the teams. Got people like the Peace out on the continent. We've got more riders at the moment. Now, it may be that people say that the UK scene is struggling a little bit, but I'll tell you something, we've got more quality riders racing for pro teams abroad for money than we've ever had. Matt Brennan is indeed the future. The DCG race team in the future, Altaf. Oh, now there you go. If only somebody paid us a lot of money rather than us being hand to mouth every month to find the streaming fees, that would be great, wouldn't it? So interesting. DCG race team in the future, says Altaf. Absolutely, says Steve Wilson. Russ says maybe if the races come back, yeah. All fighting for vet places. Interesting comment. However, here's a thought for you. If you had to sponsor one team, what would you get them to ride? Would you have them riding in the UK, or would you have them riding abroad? That's your only two options. You can't have anything in between. Would you have a team riding abroad, or would you have them riding in the UK? Interesting. Yeah, we'd have a good vets team, Vince, says Chris Ball in that. I bet you would as well. Vin Donahoe, rating to get a team in all disciplines. Okay, indoor cycling, please. We'd like you to be competitive in urban, so that is your choice of flatland BMX, freestyle BMX, or trials. I'd like to have you in mountain bike, so you can take your pick, whether it's downhill, XC, XCE, XCO, XCM, or XCR. There you go. If you know what those initials all stand for, then you're doing well. Could we also have it in track cycling as well? And para. That'd be very interesting. More disciplines, cross disciplines. I think we can manage a couple of disciplines, but I'm not sure we can manage all disciplines. I'd love to say the Donny Chaingnag was that strong and bounty and powerful, but probably not. Okay, first coffee break apparently has gone in. We will see. 41 minutes in, just following Keith Richardson at the moment. Still in the tucked in here at the Mo, just heading southbound once again. So not quite at half a distance. because we've got Mick Clark in here. Has tucked in with that. Rob Craggill, I've just seen come flying through our screens. Chris Canham in there. Mr. Moncaster is in the mix. Let's take a little bit of a run. Sam Emsley's back with us as well. Nice to see Sam on the Chaingnag once again. Still think Dale Williams' kit is still some of the best there is. So, we'll take a quick check. Looks like Mike Taylor nicely tucked to the gun. Keep holding in there, Molly, doing a great job. Dr. D in there. Good to see Dr. D paying a visit to Nonus, the man in the green kit. You can just see him tucked in here. Dr. D making the trip up to Nonus. Good to see Rowan visiting the team. Stefano and gang in there. So good to see Dr. D up with the gang in. Then at Nonus as well. Great night there, and great to catch up with Russ down at the meet-up. So currently 25.4k. I hate to break it to you, but if we pull you the stats up on the screen, if you multiply 25.5 up, you will know that you do not get to half-ride distance yet. Not quite at half-ride distance. There you go. Scary thought. Now, let's see how these riders are riding at the moment. It looks like almost everybody is together at the moment. Just one sitting on the front there. So we'll have a look at Mr. Holwell. What K are you finishing at? Well, we can tell you that as the riders come in and through. In fact, we can do better than that. We can show you. You are going to be finishing at 54.3k. It is basically 3 full laps of Tempest Fuji. 54.3k, Phil, if you're watching live. If you're not, well, you should be. It's a lot easier. There you go. Thank you very much, Mr. Mason, for popping that out to those who aren't watching live. Always pays to watch live. More sources of information you have, the more chance you have of knowing exactly where you're heading, where and when. So just in with Keith Rorich as soon as we make our way down through 27k covered. That takes us to 54k, fast approaching a half ride distance. We come around the turn here. On our way in and through. Remember, of course, got that little loop, the start run into the rock arch that makes a difference. In terms of where that split is, the group's still looking pretty smooth at the moment. Nobody losing touch with the group, just rolling around about 2.5 watts per kilo in the bunch at the moment. So as you come past the homes lit up now, as you come around this arch, it's become increasingly more populated over the years here on Zwift. Back in when it was first launched, we didn't have quite as many people living out in the middle of nowhere. Now we do. That's the change that's happened with time. I wonder whether any of those maybe hail from a different planet, bit like maybe they just walk around looking like something out of the Visma release by time trial team. You never know. So heading back on the Fuego Flats, reverse 7.1k to the arch, and of course we've got to go around the other side and get back to the arch again to get to the final lap on the Chaingnag. Claire Jessup, Sonia Inslee, Tracy Seeley and Alice Fonseca are riders in the group, all doing almost identical times, separated by 0.7 of a second. It shows you how consistent the gang is rolling at the moment. As they make their way in through, you see Mr. Burkitt tucked in the group as well. It's going to take a little bit of a run past Dave Fulton on the way up through. I think we've got to Nathan from Velobout. Hercules made his way back to the front as well. There's Nathan from the Velobout squad. Good to see he's in here as we keep on ticking on. Simon Oxenham on some cracking form at the moment. Very interesting to see how he is riding. And at the moment, just took nicely in there. Just making his way in through. You can just see Hold in the front of that group as the Chaingnag rolls its way round through past the palm trees. Going to head out into the desert. The Virgins will stop. There we go. And out we go into the desert past the Prickly Pear, making the way out and round. We will see as they make the way through. Now let's have a look, see how they're rolling. We're going to see if it's going to pick the pace up at all as they come in towards go past the plastic dinosaur. Apparently it's called Fred. All dinosaurs apparently called Fred. So far it's the thing. So Mr. Ridley saying, that's Alan Bassett saying, have a great time once you get to that trigger point. Parsons is going to take his time. He's going to be just jumping off. I think he's got a few people. There's some twitchy people today. Love it. A few twitchy riders on the Chaingnag. It'll be very interesting to see how they deal with it. We will see. Currently approaching 50 minutes of riding. Tea time for Mr. Barson. See anyway, says Tom Linley. Yeah, see you later on. I'm sure Alan will be back. Another of the people who's been a keen supporter of the Donny Chaingnag over the years. Great to have him on board now. Only counts when it's in the middle of the screen. Too right it does, indeed. That is always where we go. Nathan Woodley said, have a great time after the 3 Gs and the 3 Os. There you go. Tom Linley thinks 3 Gs is the acceptable one. I always try and avoid saying those 3 words together at any point other than when it's actually needed. But, you know, maybe we should mix it up a bit and scare the living pants out of people. Always good to get people getting work. Here we go. Now let's have a little look. Chris Canham took nicely in near the front of the group. It's starting to get a little bit quicker here as people start to get a bit twitchy. You can see we've got Finley Hudson on board as well. So you get to see a few different names in the mix as we work our way on the way through and round. So 51 minutes in, heading north away. Going to be heading into the Oasis very soon. We've still got well over a lap and a third left to go here. 30k on the clock as they make their way in and through. So 30k covered. And Russ has scored the go, go, go. The go, go, go has gone. We have got just over 51 minutes, 30k covered. That leaves about 12k to go. It's going to be very interesting how this plays out now because all of a sudden the burners have been ignited. The entire group are absolutely trying to nail this. Gladius says, that's me, enjoy. Don't think you're going to be the only one, Claire. They're on the way. This is going to be a very fast kick out at the moment. You can just see the very front group are motoring the way, and they're starting to lose riders off the back of the group. It's going to be a tough one. Into the tunnels they go. We're going to see those gaps start to open up behind our leaders as they go in and through. Who's going to be able to hold those wheels? The moment of truth has struck. Will Manny be able to stay in? He's left chasing at the moment. The brothers on bikes rider just fighting Manny Chaingnag, just having to chase here. He's in company. He's got Craggle. He's got Garfoot with him as well. They are the group behind our Yellow Beacon group. That they've got some strong riders in there. Looks like Super Sprinter Sonia just tucked onto the wheels of Altaf Hussein here as they come in and through. Good to see Altaf back on the gang as well. So this is going to be a tough ride. Keith Richards, Claire Jessup, Sonia Inslee, Altaf Hussein, Mally Taylor, looks like John Garfoot, Mani Yanua. Going to have a Rob Craggill, looks like a Rowan Dubash, Alex Gidley as well. I'll tell you something, there's a few bodies being distanced out here. Chris Canema's gone, Alice Fonseca as well. So these riders, there's a lot of riders now having been distanced by our leaders up at the front of the riders. That pressure keeps on being applied. Finley Hudson, though, is the rider on the front, stretching it out at the moment as they go through. The chase is on. Luke Higginbottom trying to close it down on to Finley. Shaw Moore right in the mix as well. Aaron Cooley, Wayne Barr, Kai Hurst is in there. Tom Lindley, Jamie Pearson. Looks like Sam Taylor, Phil Holwell, Dixon Moore, Steve Wilson in there. There's a big old bonfire up on the front at the moment. It's all about holding the wheels, though. If you lose a wheel at this stage, you're going to be in trouble. The moment the gap opens with the current drafting, it means that you have a monumental task to get on to the wheel. The way that the dynamics work at the moment, and there's a few people letting the gaps just open a little bit here, and that is very dangerous. Because if you let those gaps go, you're going to have a real job to close the gaps down. And it looks to be like Russ Downing has opened the gap up. He's got Phil Holwell on his wheel, and Holwell goes over the top of Downing here. So this looks like Phil Holwell's going for a long one. Interesting move from Holwell. Close down Downing. I think he'd have wanted a few people to go with him here. Holwell has been one of our strongest riders on the Chaingnag of late. Can he make it count today on a course that does not suit him? This is all about being able to stay the grass, to put down the watts, to put down the power, to have that sprint. At the moment, Holwell just backing off the pace. He's going to let those riders come up to him here. So they're going to make the junction as Holwell is caught. That group, though, has gone right down in size. It has certainly been diminished downwards. We're just going to take a run towards the rear of that group. And I think we're going to find 27 riders are up the road. 27 riders up the road. It is going to be in 26, in fact, in front of Tom Hagger. Next going to be Sam Emmersley just holding the tail end of that group. So 26 riders making the first selection here as they came in through. That has brought that down. That is less than half the riders who started. This is going to be a tough one as Downing goes off the front now. So it looks like Russ Downing is the rider stretching it out, or is he? He's all over the road. I think Russ just cut across. So maybe a bit of cyclocross for Russ, a bit of grass track if there was any grass, as the riders continue onwards. So Downing with a little bit of a gap. Do you know what? I reckon they're letting him go and wait. And they know on this course what you need to not do is panic. If you panic on the course, you will find yourself in trouble because you go deeply into the red zone, and then you're going to struggle to pull the group back. So here on the Donny Chaingnag on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel, the riders making their way round. 56, now nearly 57 minutes of riding done as Russ gets caught and gets past Hurst goes over the top. Lindley right on the heel. So is Mazzoni, who's right in the mix. Lindley just riding very smart at the moment, belying his years in that pink lamprey-inspired kit. He's got that highlight around him, as has Russ, our yellow beacon. And hiding in the wheels, saving your energy today is absolutely key. So our riders on the way in and through, setting some new personal best times as they make their way in through the come under the rock arch. Quick reminder, that is not the finishing line. It is when we come back in the opposite direction. Now, are we going to see this come down to a 26 rider sprint? Well, I very much doubt it, but they're going to have one lap to find out when they come back at the opposite direction. They're going to go around our loop, and it looks to me like, again, we're seeing another move being put in on the front. I suspect we're going to just see a little bit of a stretch out here. Kai Hurst is the rider who's ripping it up on the front. Are they going to leave him out there to dry? Will Hurst be left out there doing all of the work on his own? Who's going to chase? Is anybody going to chase? Behind, they're just riding about 3.5 watts per kilo, and I think they're leaving him out here to dry. So Hurst on the pink Tron bike, slowly being pulled back, and the chase is doing damage at the moment. We are going to take a little bit of a look at the back of this group. Muncaster could well be in trouble. Campbell could be as well. I think Steve Wilson is finding the pressure just too much today. Come on, Steve, time to dig in, buddy. He's got to keep on going. He does look just like his avatar as well. It's quite impressive. So Steve Wilson, the next rider to feel the pressure, be dispatched. Looks like Jamie Forbes. Both riders, in fact, who came on the mill to Nonna's, just now being distanced. Keith Richardson, who's at Nonna's, tucked in to the group at the moment. Going to come around this left-hand turn here. This is the run in towards the line for the very last time before we get in. It is indeed time for the 1 lap to go signal. It will be 1 lap to go when they get to the line this time. We are going to see these riders coming in. Who is going to take it out as they come into towards the line at the moment? It's 1 lap left to go. 1 lap left to go. There you go, that's your 1 lap to go bell. Brought to you by a pair of scissors and a microphone stand. It is 1 lap to go. It's not moving very well, our microphone stand today. 1 lap to go. 1 lap left to go. That's a broke scissors doing that. There you go. It is the bell lap. There you go. 1 more lap to go. We are on the last ronda. 1 lap to the finish, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get those best legs rolling. You're going to need them to stay in with this group. Now, big chasing groups behind Jamie Forbes and Steve Wilson. Dick Samore leading this group through. This is a nice big pack here with Samore, with Burkecross, with Burkett, with Goddard, with Hager, with Seeley, with Gale. Richardson is in here, Claire Richardson in here. I'll tell you something very interesting to see both Tracy Seeley and Claire Richardson. So Tracy Seeley here in the refreshers kit. Just making a way in and through, and then you should see the Aeonian kit of Claire Richardson also in this group. These two were almost inseparable. I'm not going to tell you exactly how inseparable they were on the ride last night, both putting in a serious dig towards the finish to make the racing very spicy indeed. Going to be interesting. Can they stay clear of the groups behind? Can they close down the gap on to the front group? These are your leaders at the moment. Hurst still sitting on the front. The group pulled him back, but they're going to sit on there. Russ being pulled back in. He did another attack. I love Liam Masoni. What attack? I'm loving it. Very interesting comment there from Leon. It was certainly pulled back on the way in. And at the moment, this group is still holding out. Now, I reckon we should be down to 24 riders. We're going to see if my maths is holding up here, because Forbes was the rider who went. He's 25th. It looks like Russ Downing is going to be the rider just in front. So it is 24 riders in the group. Downing just sticking to the back of the group, going to try and get some recovery done. Can't afford to let the wheels go, though, because he's going to be in trouble. So that group together as they come down at the moment, go through the Wild West town. At the moment, the pace being held high. Hurst on the front, Downing on the back of our leading group. 36 seconds back is Foz, 44 seconds back is Wilson. 1 minute and 5 back to the big chase group. That is the one that contains our female leaders. Those are going to be Tracy Seeley along with Claire Richardson. And the pack that have those, they are the faster group right behind. So Russ inventing a new sport of jiggling balls rather than juggling. Spinning plates and juggling balls, always two very interesting things to have to do, don't we know it? As the riders now go in to the tunnels, we're going to fly our drone straight out the wall of the rock and just drop in behind Russ at the moment. The fuelmachine.co.uk rider who rides Downing Cycling, wearing that distinctive Downing Cycling kit there. You can just see Russ with a pocket full of ride-ons making his way in and through. At the back of the group is currently where he's at, and you can just see as we come in to the Oasis, he's sitting in that 24th spot. 24 riders who have gone clear, staying clear at the moment as they make their way down past the waterfalls. Downing sat on the back of the group. They're going to take a little bit of a run down. Just see the chase group here. This is the Chris Ball chase group. They've got Dick Samul. Samul doing a lot of work on the front at the moment, really working well, keeping this group up to speed, up and moving. You've got Forbes in between the packs at the moment. So Wilson is in the group just in front. Let's see how they're going to ride this out. It's going to take a little bit of doing and see how fast they're going to roll. Okay, so let's take a little bit of a run further back. So we've got the Altaf Hussein group. This has got Sonia Inslee in here, John Garfer in as well. Looks like Mally Taylor just being distanced, sitting inside the top 50 though at the moment, as the riders in the leading group continue to make their way around the circuit. They're on the way out from the Oasis, and Phil Holwell taking the opportunity to put the pressure on. When the cameras were away, the mice are playing, and it's Holwell and Hurst and Lindley who may well be the riders who are up there. This could form a breakaway split. Can they split themselves clear as they come out and through at the moment? Our camera just struggling to pick up the riders with the helicopter, and you can just see as we take a look down on them at the moment that we've got the group being pulled back by Rob Varty. Varty, the rider who's pulled back into first place. Hurst in second, now moving to third and fourth as we see Sean Moore go up over the top. And another push coming from Finley Hudson in that Tiger Stripe kit, who goes on to the front. Nathan from Velabats tucked into the group. Aaron Cooley in there, Liam Massoni, Rob Osman, Simon Oxenham, Keith Richardson. They're all tucked in within this group. You've got Downing just towards the back of the pack at the moment. This is going to be tough stuff. Can they take this out? Remember, we are still leading this down through from the tunnels. This is going to be about who has got the speed, the pace, the power to hold this all together, because this is tough stuff. Interesting to see that Varty is in here. Wayne Barr has been running like an absolute machine recently. He's in this group as well. Now, Wayne, another of the members of the DCG gang, thank you very much for joining. Is really important. Come and join Wayne on the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingnag Sports Club. Get to ride Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. Of course, get those great discounts that come out to all of our riders for Gritty, for OTE, for the team at Halo, from Goodyear Tyres, and at Nonna's 1080, of course. The key people, if it comes though to keeping looking cool as Wayne does when he's out on the bike, because of course we all know Oakleys are the best in the business. the best prices, the best advice, and the best knowledge, well, you need to get to the Premier Oakley dealer that is 1080 based in Norwich. If you can't get there, don't forget, of course, you can always get in touch with Ian. He's one of our regular supporters. It's the word go. Really, really, really important to look after people who've looked after the sport. And if you need some new shades for the summer, get in touch with Ian, give him a shout. He will look after you. He's an absolute superstar and been one of our key supporters here. A long time friend for the Chaingnag and of the riders on it. So please do get in touch with Ian, whatever you fancy for your eye protection. And later on, now, here we go. Making our way down into town. We're heading south. We're past Fred the dinosaur. So Tom Lindley having the energy to type and to ride at the moment. The advantage of being one of our younger riders, I suspect. So down past the diner, past the service station, coming down in through the neon at the moment. We've got to come out and head into towards the spaceship that's landed on the side of the world here. We won't be heading off to the Sequoias. Last route of the Chaingnag is going to be Sand and Sequoias. It's the very last Chaingnag we have got. For your delectation, we also have got Greater London Flat coming up as well. And sat in between, it might be Crit City actually. I'm not sure whether it is or not. That'll be interesting next week if it is. The riders out there, remember of course the Wow Chaingnag, the Tuesday Chaingnag, all on the go as well as this group comes steaming down into towards the turn at the moment. Just opening a little bit of a gap to Downing at the moment. We're still waiting to see him coming through, but I think Downing has been distanced. The yellow beacon may be in trouble here just off the back of this group. He's 23 metres down. He's having to put in a big effort here. 8.5 watts per kilo. Now 9 coming from Downing as they come sprinting down into town at the moment. So through they go. Sam Taylor up with the front of the group. Downing going through past Sam Emsley, who's at the back. So Sam Taylor at the front, Sam Emsley at the back of that group. Downing makes his way into the group. The yellow beacon back on board with the gang, but that effort could have cost him. Having to put that big kick in to get back into the group. At the moment, though, the riders looking really smooth here on the Donny Chaingnag, live with me, Matt Payne, on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel. Don't forget, always love to hear from our riders, so please do get in touch. It is at Matt Fix Paint on social media. You can get in touch with at Full Speed Events for details of what we've got on. We have our regular Sunday esports show. We won't publicise that too much on here for obvious reasons, but please do give us a follow at Full Speed Events for details of that, at Matt Fix Paint, and of course at Biking Emma. Currently well over the 500. We're heading for 600 esports shows coming up very, very shortly. Well over 11,000 hours. Sorry, 11,000 minutes. 11,000 hours. I'm quite glad it's not. 11,000 minutes plus of esports commentary coming out from me so far and counting. For those of you that have been asking, do we not do things like the Zwift Grand Prix? The answer is no. There is a little bit of politics goes on, which means that if you work for one particular esports person, you don't tend to go for another one. That is how it kind of works. Now, the riders on the way down here. The team are riding strongly as they come in through. We're just going to take a little look at Phil Holwell tucked into the group at the moment. So Holwell holding his powder dry. They're going to have to make sure that they've got something left for the sprint. So Cooley in here. We've got Hurst riding in with the front of the gang at the moment. They're absolutely flying though at pace as they make their way round. Moore is tucked in with the front group here, nicely holding position. 24 riders it's been for a while now. Not really lost anybody since that big kick off the back, but it looks like Sam Emsley has gone. So Emsley is out of action. It means that Downing is the last rider in the group as they come through. So Emsley distance, 23rd rider. It means that Oliver's gone, Emsley's gone. It's now going to be Russ Downing, who's at the back of this group at the moment, just turning those legs around. Kind of 1 rev a second at the moment from Russ, sitting at 60 revs per minute. Just making his way into the main pack, and now we see a move going off the front. There's another attack, and I think that is going to be Phil Holwell who's gone. It is indeed. Holwell has gone off the front again. The big kick as we were watching Downing. It is going to be an absolute fly from Holwell. He's going to try and break this up. Finley Hudson is responding. Can he and Moore make the junction across? They have to keep on attacking here. They're going to leave it to the big sprinters if they're not careful here. And Moore kicking out 9.5 watts a kilo, and one of those digs there. They're after Holwell though, and I'm not sure this is going to be enough from Holwell. Moore and Hudson are closing down. Osman is not far off the wheels, but there is a 4-second gap at the moment to the 3 leaders. Can this group bring them back? Rob Varty has tried to go across that gap at the moment. He's the rider who's about to join them. He was gone across at 12 watts a kilo. Nice move by Varty there, making sure that he didn't bring anybody across. He's going to make everybody else work to get that gap back down again. Now that makes 4 riders at the front, but they need to work together. If they don't work together, that 5-second gap will evaporate faster than a drop of water in the desert. It looks like Downing is not having any of this. He's on his way across now, so Downing makes the junction. He makes the junction as Holwell kicks again on the front of the group. He's going to have Downing come onto his wheels. This has strung those 4 out. There are 3 riders trying to bridge across, and they've just been closed down by the rest of that leading group. Dale Williams is tucked in here. Big sprinter. This could be very interesting. Hurst is out of the game here, so it's like Kai Hurst has had said time to wave the white flag. He's done. They kept really feeling the pressure here. Looks like Campbell is the same. He's out of the back of the group. Emsley had already gone out of the group, so Campbell makes his way. Then it's going to be Hurst, who is just about holding the back of the group. So Taylor it is. Just about holding on to the wheels of Catlin, but the gaps are really opening up here. This is dangerous times. They are all surfing a very dodgy wave at the moment. They could come tumbling down into the centre of it. There is some real pressure on at the front with each of these attacks. It is shedding bodies at the moment. I think Catlin is going to be just about the last of the riders in here, and I think Richardson, Nath from Velobans and Catlin along with Taylor could be in trouble here. They could have left it too late to get across the gap. It's 2 seconds up the road to Hudson. It's not a huge amount. You can see the group behind, but I don't think they're going to come back, because when we have got such a strong front group, it's going to be very difficult for the riders to get back in touch as they come motoring through here. So here we go, leading group coming in. Another attack goes off the front. Another dig goes from Holwell. He breaks away again. Moore's got the kick to respond. Hudson has, Pearson has. We got another kick by Varty to go across. Who's got anything left to come across to Holwell this time? I'll tell you something. Sean Moore and Finley Hudson are very, very quick to respond at the moment. There is no hanging about from these two riders. Hudson and Moore have been the duo who consistently have come across to Holwell. They're looking to try and get this to break clear. They've not yet been let off the leash by enough. They've got a 3-second gap at the moment. And the riders behind, I think, are just playing it cagey. We're out from the Oasis at the moment. This is about making sure that these riders don't get too far down the road. But if you look at the numbers behind, we're only seeing 3s and 4 watts per kilo. Can these three riders break clear? They've got a little bit of a gap, but they need to work together now. If they don't work together, what they're going to find is that the group will come back to them. They're at 6 seconds at the moment. So Varty, Pearson, Mazzoni, Hawkins, Oxenden, Williams, Barr, Cooley, Osman, Muncaster, Downing, all distanced off the back of the group. I'm loving the phrase. Can't we just leave it to a sprint, please? That's from Tom Lindley. Lindley tucks in here, and it looks like Downing is on the move now. Downing has gone from the back of the group to the front. He's used the draft as much as possible. He's led to open the throttles. He's on a kick. He's going to try and come across to the leading group. And is there a response? Lindley pulls it up to 6 watts per kilo, 7 from Mazzoni. Cooley's up there. Varty has seen this move go as well. He does not want to be left behind. Downing is closing in on the heels of the riders in front, and this breakaway is getting more and more dangerous by the second as rider after rider comes across. We've got Holwell in that leading group, the initial instigator of the attack. You've got Moore, you've got Hudson, and you've got Downing. 4 riders clear, 5 seconds gap back. Who's going to be the next rider to go across? Will it be Varty? Varty's looking twitchy. Looks like he wants to get across. He wants to make the move to get over and across the gap. Can he do so? Mazzoni is in with this group as well, but they are going to have to think about what they do here because the leading rider on the front has gone. Now, Mazzoni's thinking, now, can I get across? How much effort do I need to put in here? Will they keep on holding me off? Downing, we're just getting some strange numbers coming out of Russ at the moment as we go through because we're keeping on seeing him yo-yoing off the back of this group. And I think he's been distanced here. That move across has made him bay. You've got to remember, got to go out the other side and back again. These three leading riders have got the gap. They're going to go down into the turn. They're going to come round the turn and back it towards the arch here. So 3 leading riders are clear. Russ has been distanced from that lead group. He's going to get absorbed by the group behind. Holwell at the moment, though, is on the move again. He's attacked the duo. He's gone clear. So another move being made by Phil Holwell to go clear from the group. He does not want to let this go to a sprint. Now it's pancake flat. Your money would be on a sprint. It's not going to be the case necessarily as Holwell comes in. He's got to go round this loop, round the rock pillars. He's going to go in. He's clear at the moment. He's got a 10-second gap to Sean Moore. So it's 10 seconds to Moore. It's going to be another 3 seconds to Osman, who's the nearest of the riders at the moment. Downing has gone off the back of the group here. So it's Holwell at the front. Then it's going to be Moore with 4 seconds now to that group. That group are coming. They could close him down if they work together. But at the moment, they're fighting for second place because Phil Holwell is on an effort at the moment. He is at 5.3 watts per kilo, tapping out a rhythm. The draft won't help him much as he makes his way through. It only works when you're behind somebody. It is a very unnecessary power up when you are away on the front. Great for accelerating through the group, not so good when you're clear on the front. But Holwell already making his way out from the roundabout, from that turn. He's going to come in and on to the stripes that indicate the start of the sprint, that there are 500 meters to go. You can see that glowing just in front of him here. So as he goes in and through, that is 500 meters to go, half a kilometer for Holwell, and his gap now 17 seconds. Not 1, not 2, 17 18 seconds. That is a phenomenal performance by Holwell to pull out that gap behind. They have looked at each other, and it means that they are now in trouble. They are going to be fighting it out for second place here because Holwell has gone clear. What a ride by Phil Holwell. That is going to be tough stuff. You come in, you're going to take the right-hand turn. It's at 54.2k. Here we go. It ticks on the clock. Here's the finishing line. It is Phil Holwell who takes the win. What a ride by Holwell. Behind Mazzoni's going to come for it. Oh, he's going to get rolled by Lindley. Lindley goes in second place. Mazzoni in third. Williams, I think, took fourth place there as they came through the 1, 2, 3. Top spot going to Phil Holwell. A second place by Lindley. Rolling Mazzoni, the pro, on the lead line. That's a good scalp to have as you come in and through. So, Holwell going through, taking the victory. Great ride by Phil to take the win here today from the rest of the group. Great riding by Higginbottom, by the team from Nathan, from fellow bands, from all of that gang. Now we are going to drop back to our next group if we can. I think it could well be the Steve Wilson group who is coming in and around that turn. We're just going to take a little bit of a check as they come into line. It may well be it's actually going to be Downing who's in that. Apologies, just a little bit tricky catching all of the riders on the way, and it is going to be Downing who's on his way into the line next. So, congratulations to everybody who's gone in through the line so far. It is going to be Russ Downing, our yellow beacon. Don't forget, follow Russ at fuelmachine.co.uk. 3 laps done for Russ, just to spin down to the line behind him. It's going to be Simon Catlin who is on his way in towards, Steve Catlin. Steve, would you like to call Simon? Sean gets it all the time. So Steve Catlin going in to the line. He's going to get rolled just on the line there, I think, by Nathan and Fellabas. Then it's going to be Catlin. Then it's going to be Hurst who comes through behind him. 18th place for Hurst. I think Finley Hudson has realised he's got to roll through this line as well. Finley, pay attention to the numbers. He's got, you know where it is. If you watch the show, it's one of the key reasons to watch is to know where that finish is. So Finley Hudson making his way into the finish. Hudson's still going to come in inside the top 20. Shows how strong he was on that run into the line. Behind them, I think it's going to be Ewan Campbell coming in. So the RAF Cycling Association rider trying to stay clear of the chasing riders behind. Sam Emmersley, the nearest rider to Campbell at the moment. So the Flyboys with the shades and the ice creams on the way through the desert. Definitely deserve an ice cream after that ride. Top 20 today. So Campbell goes through, then it's going to be, I think, Mr. Emmersley. It is Sam Emmersley. Good to see Sam on the Chaingnag once again. So Sam Emmersley, our next rider, heading to the finishing line here. Oh, okay, yes, boss. Yeah. So I think that is Corporal Campbell to me. That's okay. I can deal with it. My shoulders are broad. I've had abuse from people of far higher rank over a lot of years. Has to be said. Okay, our riders heading into the line. Now I'm going to try and take a run up the road to Phil Oliver, who makes his way into towards the left-hand turn here. Didn't have any inter-forces banter at all today between Mr. Garford and Mr. Campbell. Very, very sad. What is the world coming to? All too PC. Okay, now Phil Oliver on his way in towards the finish. He's going to come in for 21st place. Good riding by him. Just ahead of Luke Higginbottom. Luke in that lead group for a long time as he made his way in and through. Now behind the ride for the line is on Vin. Donahoe has gone for a long one here. It looks like Vin really kicking on at the moment. He is clear of Forrester. Forrester's coming behind him, but I'm not sure he's going to make it on time. They're coming into that gantry. They're coming into the archway. It is going to be Vin Donoghue who's going to lead them home. Then I think we're going to see Goddard come through from Claire Richardson. She's going to get the fastest female rider ahead of Tracy Seeley here today. The two riders who were part of the leading three yesterday in there once again. And now looks like the group here with the riders on this tour. We're going to try and get a quick check looking up towards the line. I think Alice Fonseca is going to be our furthest rider up the course at the moment. Going to just take a little check because Dixon Moore's group has gone through the line. John Forey has shown that he is, I think, between Alice and the line, but it looks to me like he has already gone through. Just going to take a little bit of a check out on the course. He is indeed through the line, and that should mean it should be Alice Fonseca, our next rider, to make her way in to the finishing line here today. Dropping the anvil to get rid of it. Good move. No downhill. It is slightly downhill. It's -1%, so it will have helped a little bit. So good attention to detail there as Fonseca comes through. The line going to be heading in towards the finish at the moment. So Fonseca heading for the line. It's not far now. Super Sprinter Sonia with John Garfoot, the Royal Navy Cycling, with Rowan Dubash, Dr. D himself, Altaf Hussein in there, Chris Canham in that group. It's going to be an interesting run behind Fonseca, though, looking good as she comes into towards the finish. It'll be warmed down. Another ride done for Alice, and congratulations for another good ride on the Chaingnag, our Norwegian rider. Going to be job done as she comes in through the finishing arch. Another great ride done and dusted. Now, as Alice comes in to head out onto the warm down, we're going to take a run back down to this group. These are the next riders out on the course here, and this is going to be interesting. We have got Chris Canham in the group. We have got Altaf Hussein. We've got John Garfoot. We've got Sonia Inslee in here. This is an interesting group. Now, we know that Super Sprinter Sonia is fast. John Garfoot from the Royal Navy Cycling has gone at first. He's kicked hard. Canham is not wanting to let him go, but I tell you something, John Garfoot is on an absolute flying form at the moment. He's had his hair cut, and boy, is it showing at the moment, because Garfoot has gone. Canham is just about holding him. In fact, he's held him. He's gone over the top. It's going to be a perfect lead out there on the way through. This is going to be a big push from Canham. He's on his way into the line. He's holding 8 watts per kilo. Big sprint from Chris Canham. He's going to take the win from this group. It's going to be Ryan Dubash, Dr. D coming through for second. John Garfoot coming through for third. It's going to be Sonia Inslee fourth in this group. And then it's going to be Altaf Hussein who's going to come through for 5th place in the group. Fantastic riding, guys. Well done. Congratulations. We're going to let them chat and warm down. Spin those legs out, guys. We're just going to have a quick catch up with Mally Taylor, who's out on the course, doing another good job. Held in for a long time here today. So Mally Taylor from Donny Chaingnag is going to be closing the curtain on the Chaingnag as we head in to what is 7:30 GMT. It means that we do have another show going outside, and it means that I am going to have to say, Mally, keep on riding, buddy. You're doing a great job here today. Good ride today, staying with that group. And don't forget, make sure you get the warm down done as well. So, whilst we see Mally make his way in, it just means that it's time for me to say thank you very much for joining me, Matt Payne, here on the Donny Chaingnag on the DCG Live. A quick reminder, make sure you come and jump on board. We run to the end of the month, to the end of March, and then we'll be taking a break running into the summer and having a little bit of a think about what we're going to do carrying on. Don't forget, all of this is only possible because of the people who support the Chaingnag, which is the Donny Chaingnag Supporters Club, the DCG gang. You can join that, www.buytickets.at/fullspeed events, where you can register for the Thursdays as well. Of course, members get those links direct to their inbox for both rides, as well as great discounts from 1080, from OTE, from Nonnas, from Gritty, from Continental Tyres, from Halo Wheels, and of course it's brought to you by Downing Cycling and myself, Matt Payne. And it's time for me to go. So Stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Make sure you join us for our Sunday show. Please do come and join us. Emma will be bringing the Iceni races out on Tuesday. I'll be bringing you the WoW on Wednesday and the Donny Chaingnag on Thursday. But from me, Matt Payne, stay safe. See you again soon. Goodbye.